Today, I have another chapter from the 33 Strategies of War, and today's one is an interesting one. Strategy 13, Know Your Enemy, the intelligence strategy. The target of your strategy should be less the army you face than the mind of the man or woman who runs it. If you understand how that mind works, you have the key to deceiving and controlling it. Train yourself to read people, picking up the signals they unconsciously send about their innermost thoughts and intentions. A friendly front will let you watch them closely and mine them for information. Beware of projecting your own emotions and mental habits onto them. Try to think as they think. By finding your opponent's psychological weakness, you can work to unhinge their minds. This is an idea that is very, very important. Think of every single time you are in conflict with someone. Every single person has a weak point. Every single person is either someone you should mess with or someone you should avoid. I have a very good example of this. I have a friend who, if you unfollow him on Instagram, even though you haven't talked to him for 5 years, he believes that you're preying on his downfall and he will plot against you for the rest of your life. And it's like, there's certain people you want to mess with and there's certain people that you don't. And understanding these people to spend your time with, understanding these people to argue with is very, very important, because there's people that you can have valid discussions with and nothing comes of it. And there's people that you can have an argument with and you make a bitter enemy and someone that's going to try to ruin your life for the rest of your life. And understanding this idea and understanding that this is always a push and pull, like you have to pick and choose your battles, you have to be strategic about things, you have to start to see the cracks in the foundation, start to see something that you can maybe lean into. This is something that is really going to benefit you. And this book is really about the tactful art of strategy. It's not about, picking on someone who's weaker than you. It's about recognizing your weaknesses, recognizing your flaws, and not allowing someone else to take advantage of them. And at the same time, picking out someone else's flaws, picking out exactly where you can find them slipping. Like a lot of people that are very stoic, deep down, have a deep emotional repression, and all you have to do is bring that out of them. So when you see someone that's very even keeled, if you can bring out that emotion, you can easily, do whatever you want, whether it's in an argument. Once you get them start talking emotional, once you start getting them doing ad hominem attacks, then you've won. Because if there's any sort of crowd watching, people are always going to be like, well, he's right. He's attacking that guy's idea, but the other guy is attacking his personality, his appearance, this, that. And once you start being able to pick out things like this, you have such an advantage over people. And again, I think this is something to understand, especially in avoidance. When I am fighting, I know what a big guy is going to try to do. I know a big guy is going to try to hold me down and use his weight against me. So I'm not going to allow him to get into positions that allow him to do that. And the same thing, like a big guy's probably never felt, weight from the top. A big guy's probably always on the top. So if you can somehow sweep them and then hold them down, it's going to be very easy, because all the big guys can do is bench press. They can't move their hips away. They can't do things. And it's such an advantage when you can turn someone's strength into a weakness, when you can turn what someone is usually good at and make it something that ultimately leads to their downfall. And in the book, Robert Greene uses an example of Napoleon and how Napoleon was basically bamboozled into losing a very strategic victory. And basically what happened was Napoleon was trying to strengthen up the relations between Austria and France, and because of this, Napoleon basically entered into a marriage with a Austrian princess, and he thought that this was going to really solidify this relationship, but really it was just keeping Napoleon at bay so that Austria could build up their military and then eventually backstab him. And it's all about understanding what people's weakness is. Like, Napoleon was very notorious for being terrible with women. I mean, if you look at his first wife, Josephine, this dude was the most powerful man in the world. This dude was conquering the entire world, yet his wife was cheating on him. And this was a known rumor, and this was something that ate away at him forever. So you think you're not going to be able to pull a fast one on a guy like this? You think you're not going to be able to flash a beautiful woman in front of him and take advantage of him? It was a masterful strategy, and this is the key of the idea. Using someone else's weakness, observing them, seeing what they're maybe good at, and then pointing them in the wrong direction, pointing them in a direction where they're weak, pointing them in a direction where you can take advantage of whatever weakness this is. And yeah, I really love this book. This book is very interesting. I think it I think it really expands on a lot of the ideas of the Prince. It expands on a lot of the ideas of the Art of War. Some of the best parts of the Prince, Machiavelli's The Prince, if you haven't read it, another great book, but it really explains a lot of the ideas well, but the difference in this is that Robert Greene uses a lot of examples, and the examples illustrate the point much more clearly than, the Old English that the Prince is translated into. So, yeah, just from a ability to decipher the information, it is a much better example. But again, I love this book. This is a book that I'm going to continue to go through. I know I haven't been going through it recently, but I've just been really passionate about other videos I've been making. But yeah, link to this book will be in the description. If you want more from me, go ahead, join my Discord. On top of that, if you want even more from me, if you want my own writings, damn, you didn't hear that voice crack. If you want my own writings, go ahead, join my school. I guess I'm losing my voice even before I stream. That's a really good sign, right? Love you guys. Thank you guys so much. Peace out. I'll catch you next one.